Welcome back, New World. Sethphir here, and we are back with some more information about server transfers. So a few hours ago, one of the developers took to the forums and answered some questions in a post that was presented there. So as you remember, we had a few weeks back where we were promised by Amazon server transfers that would come through, allowing us to transfer our characters to a server of our choice. And since then, they have been working hard to deliver on that promise. They said it's speculated to be this week, but that term has kind of been used loosely, so we don't know exactly what that means. It's just somewhere in this week. So we'll see how that exactly turns out. But for the meantime, we have some details and a QA from one of the developers, Trevor's for the win, on the official Amazon forums where he responds to this post. So let's go ahead and dive into this. And of course, I will link in the description down below. If you want to check that one out for yourself and just read through, that'll be there. So go ahead and look at that resource. So we'll see what he has to say. He says, "Hello, everyone. We have answers from the dev team to many of the questions that have been pulled from this thread. You can find them below." And it says, the first question is, how many times will we be able to server transfer for free? Will we be able to pay for server transfers after using the free tokens? The answer to this one is an initial release includes one transfer token, which is single use, and will continue to monitor the server populations. And if transfers result in uneven distribution that causes queues, we will issue new sets of tokens where needed. So this means that they're just going to keep an eye on things, and if they need to give out more free server transfer tokens to sort of balance the servers, then that may be something that they will be looking at. I imagine when these server transfers first come out that everyone's just going to be going nuts and transferring to all these servers that they think are the best and they think are really good from what they heard, and then they're probably going to get there and realize that no, the grass is not greener on the other side, and well, this kind of sucks now. So they might have to walk that back a bit and, maybe rely on that second server transfer token or however it is, but make sure you plan ahead and really know what you're getting into when you migrate your character this way. So the next question is, when will the full server transfers open? Will there be any monitoring of those servers to see whether or not they should be open or closed, depending on the flow of transfers? So full servers were like the mega popular ones. I remember there was like 50k queues, 70k queues on some. They get declared full and then they don't get declared full, but I think they're expanding those servers, so we'll see what he has to say. But he says they monitor the full status on a daily basis and it changes as recently as today, so full doesn't indicate that a server always has queue. It indicates that a server during the peak usage has a substantial queue. We'll be relaxing that full status on many worlds when the transfers start to allow the most flexibility possible. After transfers have slowed down, we will reevaluate which worlds might still need the designation. So to me, this sounds like they're adding more server power to certain servers so that they can fulfill that load, because there are a lot of real popular servers that a lot of people want to be on, but there was just not enough spots for that. And I think that's what they're probably trying to do, is allocate some of that resource space there. So we'll go into the next one. Is there a potential for regional transfers to come in the future? They said yes, they're working on it now. They can't provide an ETA because it's a difficult process. But they realized that they created some confusion on the server transfer stuff for regions, and so they felt that they owed a solution to the community. So that's good to see. So people that maybe start on EU under the impression that they could transfer to NA, there's hope, and we'll see how that goes in the future, but hopefully that works out well. Next question is going to be, will all members of a large company be able to transfer over, or do they have a cap of how many people can transfer on a certain server? The answer to that one is there's no technical limit and to the number of characters that can transfer to a server. And they also addressed the issue of moving a company can be difficult. So starting with the release of server transfers, when the last person leaves a company, it will be treated as abandoned and the name will be available seconds later. And you should not rename your company if you intend to transfer it. That will make the old name available or unavailable on a new server. So full emptying the company so it's abandoned will free up the name for use. So if you are moving your entire company over, you're basically just going to have to get everyone out of there, disband the company, and then you can remake the name like 1 second later. So once that last person leaves, that means that the official name has been freed up, and then the servers will recognize that in like a minute or so. However, it says, however, large companies should consider the implications of moving as a group to a busy server. This could cause the server to be full status after the move. We will warn people a full day ahead of time on any full status changes on the first week of server transfers being available, so as not to surprise anyone with a status change. So what we probably will see is a lot of big companies moving to quote-unquote competitive big servers, and then they're all going to get there, and then it's going to be declared full, and then that's going to be it. Like, there's going to be a lock on everything else. So maybe the way to go is to be fast on this. That's up to you. You can decide how your company wants to handle this, but you can, dive into that particular avenue. Next question. It says, are there any plans on adding new worlds to X region world set recommended language? As New World continue to attract new players, we will evaluate server populations and open new servers as necessary, including making sure there is always a non-full option for supported languages, and will also merge servers if needed to provide the best gameplay experience, even both at the same time, new servers and merged servers as conditions required. So it looks like they are going to be migrating some of the least popular servers together, especially for language sets, so people that are speaking Spanish may be able to kind of reunite with each other and all be in the same region, so that'll be good to see. And then hopefully some of the small servers that there's not too much going on will be migrated up into a more, with some of the other smaller servers, so they will form decent medium-sized servers, and that'll be good for everybody. Is there a limited time frame the players need to use this token by? No, it is available permanently until on the account until used. So you can take your time and decide what you want to do. That may be the best option. Will it be expanding server capacity in addition to new servers? We're always interested in providing a largest capacity that provides the best gameplay environment. We'll increase here as long as we're sure it doesn't downgrade the gameplay. As many observant players have noticed, we are already experimenting with that on some servers. Also, as time goes on, the world of Eternum will get larger, and that will allow for better balance room for even more players. So that's cool. I like this. World of Eternum will get larger, right? That just means that new stuff is coming. That's probably the speculated Brimstone Sands. That's probably some of the northern regions above Morningdale and things like that, and that'll be really nice to see. But they are working on that server capacity thing. I know that the queues have went down on some of the major big servers, so that's always great to see the developers working hard on that one. And hopefully the cap will just keep increasing to allow these big servers to really flourish. Then they say, are the tokens 1 per account or 1 per character? Tokens are 1 per count, and if we find transfers have created imbalance on particular servers, we can reissue tokens for those affected. So highest pop servers may get extra tokens. That's my take from that. Will we be able to move within the same world set? Yes, you can transfer your character to a different world set, different world in the same world set. So you can move to any world set. I believe you can move to any outside of any world set as well. So for players who are unable to transfer the characters to the proper region, will there be some sort of XP boost or compensation available? We heard the feedback from those players affected by the issue for the cross-region play and server transfers. Unfortunately, there will not be the first release of transfers, but it will soon be coming, and it can get completed soon. So it looks like they're basically working on a solution to that. There's really no compensation in general, so if you were one of those players who rolled on a U thinking you could transfer to NA, you're just gonna have to wait a little while, it looks like. Will we be able to provide an infographic ahead of time to help companies and players move their server transfer plans, move on their server transfer plans? It says, yes, we're working to release an infographic with the most up-to-date relevant information along with the server transfer feature to help our players decide on the world in which they wish to transfer to, and we will update it afterwards and as long as seems necessary. So that's good that they're going to help us get an idea of how many people is on the server and what queue times are going to look like, because I think that will influence a lot of people's decisions on where they want to go. Why did we make character and company names global if we can't transfer across regions? As mentioned, we are working on transferring between regions right now, so having global names will prevent some confusion and otherwise, difficulties that would occur. Companies also will be able to transfer after the person leaves on the company names, just restating stuff from earlier. So it's basically just saying, yeah, we locked everything to be regional because we wanted people to transfer regions or factions and everything like that. So after transfers have been used by most, we will be considering whether to switch to naming limitations to per region. So that could be good news. If it's a region-based name, then you might be able to get your name that you maybe didn't get. So if you want, you know, Naruto of the Hidden Leaf or whatever it is that you didn't get, that you can maybe try again for that one. So that's a nice thing to see. Next question is going to be, will there be a way to determine faction demographics on a server before transferring? There is no out-of-way game to achieve that currently. Transfers themselves, as well as players choosing the change factions, can change the demographics considerably, so any sample taken ahead of time might be misleading. Yep, that's true, because you don't know who's going to transfer into that server and what faction they are going to go. Do keep in mind there is that 120-day cooldown on the faction swap, so that can also be tricky and misleading. So maybe do a little bit of research, pick your server wisely, and if you're not sure, just wait. That might be the play. Next one is, how will town projects function if they are not in the same town board? Transfer characters can still run town project quests that are in progress, so everything's going to be transfer over. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Can you open the window of when you can transfer for longer, so that you, if you do unlock the locked servers, it gives people a chance to get in? Tokens are permanent until they are used, so this is just a repeat of that question. Do you remain in your faction, or will you have a chance to go a different faction? What if I already have changed faction once before transferring? Your faction status will be the same upon transferring. So if you have used your faction change swap already, you are stuck on that one, unfortunately, for the 120 days. So hopefully no one did that, and you still got your faction swap, so you can determine what's best to do. If we own a region on our current server, will that affect our ability to delete the guild, or if deleting the guild is even required? They say no, you can still remove all members from a company that owns the territory. And then the last question is, can we get an answer to go with the high pop servers and transfers, especially in regards to the cases where people have a character on the high pop server they wish to join, but have been focusing on a lower pop server for playtime? Can we delete existing character and transfer to that character or to that server with no troubles, as the population will stay the same? The answer to that one is, it will still be necessary to check your potential full status on the server. If it is full, you will not be able to transfer even if you delete a character already on the server. Full isn't set by the number of characters, it is set based on the peak queue experience. We will be relaxing many full server statuses when transfers are released, and we will provide a full day warning to any server changing to full status for several weeks after transfers are released to prevent surprise moments of server switching to full. So that means that the characters you have are irrelevant, it's just how many people are signing in and playing the game during the peak hours, and that's what's going to determine whether they flip the switch on that says full or not full. So that's good information to have as well. So this just kind of helps give everyone a good idea of how server transfers are going to go, and I hope this kind of helps your plans. You know, for me, I learned a lot here. I understand what it is that, you know, my company and myself may need to do if we decide to do this as an option. So there is a lot of things that you may want to look into. First, I would take a look at what is the server that you're going to be transferring to, and who's going to be transferring off of that server. Because if you transfer to a server you think is good, but then everyone leaves, that could be in the same spot you were in before, or maybe worse. So some patience here and some research may be a great idea. So, you know, get some information from some players that are playing on the server, figure out what the guilds are doing there, especially the ones that own land and territory, because they will most likely be setting the pace of that server, and then you will have a better picture of the life duration of that server and how that's going to look like. So happy server hunting, everyone. I know this was a bit of a long read through as we had quite a lot of questions and answers there. But as always, if you enjoy this type of stuff, these news updates and everything, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell down at the bottom. We also have a join button, which is a membership thing. It has tons of badges, emojis, and perks and special things. Make sure to check that one out. And as always, we have the Discord where you can talk to me and like-minded players about New World and stay up to date with the latest news, farms, and all kinds of good stuff. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we will catch you in the next video.